Allo is turning 20 this year, and we plan to celebrate all year long. Since 2003, Allo has vowed to put customers first and deliver a drastically different experience. No matter where you live, work, or play, we believe you deserve an affordable, secure, and reliable connection. We're proud to have served our businesses and residents with seriously fast fiber optic service for 2 decades. Thank you for trusting Allo as your local internet, phone, and TV provider. Follow us on social media to know about the 20th anniversary celebrations in all our Allo communities.
You've driven by GE Landscape Supply countless times, likely without even knowing, at 6701 Cornhusker Highway. Now it's time to stop in. GE Landscape Supply sells to homeowners and contractors with a vast selection of landscaping and construction materials. They sell in bulk to save you money, and you can buy anything from a 5-gallon bucket to a semi-load. And don't forget, they deliver anywhere. Stop by 6701 Cornhusker Highway from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday to Friday and 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. on Saturdays. Go to gelandscapesupply.com for more info or call 402-467-1627.
The best way to learn about Southeast Community College is to visit. And you can check out our spaces before you visit in person with a virtual campus tour. An opportunity to see our campuses in Beatrice, Lincoln, and Milford as you learn about our programs and areas of study. There are virtual tours of our learning centers too. We can even take you on a personalized virtual tour. Learn more on our website, southeast.edu/visit-SCC. SCC, your path to possible.
Motor Food is Lincoln's hardest rocking food truck and cafe. Motor Food creates old school comfort food with a 21st century twist and lots of rock and roll attitude. Try the barbecue pulled pork mac and cheese, the grilled chicken Firebird sandwich, a 100% all beef split grilled hot dog, and any version of their funky fries. Stop by the cafe just behind Outback Steakhouse on 48th Street or catch the food truck out and about all spring and summer. Check out their menu, order carryout, or schedule catering at motorfoodtruck.com.
Nebco is hiring CDL drivers for Ready Mix Concrete, Husker Concrete, and Beatrice Concrete. Nebco offers great pay, medical, and retirement benefits, paid time off, and we pay for CDL training. Apply today to earn an average total compensation of $50,000 to $60,000 your first year driving. From Nebco's beginnings in 1908, it's the employees that have formed the company's solid foundation. Start your career today. Visit nebcoinc.com. That's NEBCOINC.com.
This is Brad with Midwest Bank, proudly serving our Nebraska communities for over 70 years. We're a community bank, making local decisions, supporting local organizations, and helping local businesses and farms succeed. We are dedicated to serving our clients and helping them meet their financial needs with sound, innovative banking solutions. From an array of checking and deposit accounts, cash management services, to small business, real estate, and ag lending. We're here for you. Your community, your bank, Midwest Bank. Find out more at midwestbank.com. Member FDIC.
It's May, and that means the school year is almost over and summer road trips are on the horizon. Stop telling yourself you'll upgrade your car someday and do it now. Mullen Motors lot is full of great vehicles to take home so you don't have to worry about your current car barely surviving another road trip. Come check out their lot just north of 48th and Layton and find your next ride. Summer road trips are just around the corner. Mullen Motors.
No taglines, just quality vehicles. Mullen Motors.
The Butchery by Venue is Lincoln's premier specialty grocers. Take the quality of Venue home with you with our hand-cut steaks, handcrafted burgers, and locally sourced offerings. Browse our wide selection of specialty products designed to enhance your dining experiences with cheeses, spices, sauces, and more. We also have an exclusive collection of liquors, whiskeys, and bourbons at prices you're sure to love. Stop in to the Butchery by Venue today, located in our Venue at Home storefront at 70th and Pioneers, just 2 doors down from Venue Restaurant and Lounge.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. The home of Kansas City Royals baseball. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket. This is Adam Carriker on The Ticket.
Position right of the quarterback, out of the shotgun, first and 20. Jailbreak screen in the air. It is tipped. It is intercepted by Carriker at the Missouri 21-yard line.
Live from the heart of Lincoln, America, 5-year NFL vet and All-American defensive lineman Adam Carriker.
Shotgun snap to Everett. He's got the left arm going, and now he's got a whole lot of Adam Carriker who rips him down inside the 25-yard line.
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Here's your host, Adam Carriker.
Welcome, everybody, to Adam Carriker on The Ticket. All right. I took a little bit of a siesta last week. I took a break. I took a vacation. No, not really. There was more important things going on. There was high school baseball. All right. And when they kind of mentioned that to me last week at the ticket, hey, do you still want to try to come on? I was like, you know what? These guys, this is their time to shine. You only get to play high school sports for so long, 4 years. Hopefully it's only 4 years. Well, eligibility-wise, it's only 4 years. Hopefully academically, it's only 4 years as well. But you only get so much time to play sports in your life. As you all know, most people are done after high school. If you're done after college, whenever the case may be, enjoy each and every second. So high school baseball was a priority last week, as it should have been. I did take a little bit of a break, but there was a lot going on in the world of Husker sports and news. As always, that never changes. All right, just a little reminder. Every Monday, barring more important things, so you're stuck with me this week, fine folks at home, every Monday, noon to 1, come have lunch with yours truly. Adam Carriker here on the ticket, the Fast an Hour in radio each and every week. Now, as a result, we have a plethora. That's a fun word to say, plethora. I said hobnobbing the other day. One of the coaches at my daughter's 8U rec soccer games, very intense games, was not paying attention. I was like, Clint, stop hobnobbing with the parents and get back to coaching. It's just fun words to say, plethora, hobnobbing. There's a plethora of things to talk about today. I'm going to touch briefly on Dylan Raiola. I put out a gut reaction. Okay, it's been talked about to death, but I'm just going to cover it briefly because I have not talked about it here on the ticket. Not going to spend a whole lot of time on it. Wish the young man nothing but the absolute best. But then I want to talk about Daniel Kalen, the top quarterback recruit in the entire state of Nebraska, now is committed to play here at the University of Nebraska after doing some recon, some research, learning about Mr. Daniel himself, some things other people have had to say, watching a little bit of tape. He's a guy who can sling the ball. Okay, he's got decent size, moves well for his size, can sling the ball, and he really, really, really wants to play at the University of Nebraska, which is why he decommitted from Missouri, where he was committed, and flipped to Nebraska so quick. We'll dive into that here shortly. Some of the other things I want to chat about. Why it was so important to get a 2024 quarterback on the roster. Why? Because we had 6 scholarships quarterbacks before the spring. Then we had 3 afterwards. And we had nobody who was younger than a sophomore in this day and age of transfer portal where it's like ping pong quarterbacks, ping pong kids going from school to school to school. You got to have a little bit of depth on your roster just because kids tend to come and go. So we're going to talk about that. Mr. Faux Pelini. That's right. F-A-U-X. Mr. Faux Pelini is going to be joining me at 12:30. We're going to have some fun. I got some intense questions. Where's the update on the cat? How is Bo doing? Okay, who is this guy? Who is he really? Who is Faux Pelini? I'm going to grill him, ladies and gentlemen, and we're going to have fun. We're going to talk a little bit of Husker baseball. Got the tournament coming up. They've set a record with home runs. Had the 4 seed playing the 5th seed, Rutgers Scarlet Knights, a Piscataway, another fun word to say, Piscataway, New Jersey, here coming up this week on Wednesday in Omaha. And also, fastest hour in radio, we're also going to get to a little bit of ACC potential conference realignment talk. There's a magnificent 7 forming out of the ACC. No disrespect, I didn't know there was 7 good teams in the ACC. It used to be good at basketball and football. Can we get to 7? I'll give you a hint. Duke is not part of this magnificent 7. Let's dive in shortly, quickly. All right. As you've heard, Mr. Dylan Raiola, all right, committed to Georgia. Wish him nothing but the best, nothing but love for him. All right. Originally Ohio State decommitted. He was talking with schools like Nebraska, USC, Georgia. Now he hasn't officially signed yet, so who knows what could happen at this point. Okay, now I found this interesting, and this just is what it is. It's not a positive, not a negative. Oh, by the way, if you're watching me on YouTube, there's one big giant ear kind of sticking on my shirt. It's Yoda. It's Yoda. Star Wars is greater than Star Trek. Yeah, I said it. All right. So if you're not watching me on YouTube, go check it out on YouTube so you can see the wonderful ears sticking up. I did show the whole shirt here. It says I'm all ears because he's got really large ears, so he can listen really well. All right. So I found this interesting. And this isn't a positive. It's not a negative. It just is what it is. It was interesting with Dylan because he has played high school football across three institutions now in high school. Okay, as a sophomore, he started at Burleson High School, all right, in Texas, threw for over 3,000 yards, 9 touchdowns. Then he transferred to Chandler High School in Arizona his junior year, threw for about 2,500 yards, 2,435, 22 passing touchdowns, only 5 INTs. And now for his senior season, Raiola has transferred to Pinnacle High School in Phoenix. Okay, now I don't know why he transferred. Maybe the family needed to relocate. I don't know the reasons for these. These are the only things that I know. I just found it interesting. Okay. Now, one of the things that I was asked, Adam, is there a concern about the amount of time that was spent on recruiting Dylan Raiola? First and foremost, you had to spend that amount of time. We all know, okay, Coach Frost did not handle that recruitment very well. We had every reason in the world to go after him for many reasons that we all already know. He's obviously a very talented guy. Matt Rule was swinging for the fences. Okay? How are you going to hit a home run if you ain't swinging hard? He had to. Now, is there a concern about the amount of time that was spent on Mr. Raiola because he didn't commit here? Initially, yes. Then this young man named Daniel Kalen, okay, shortly after the Dylan Raiola news broke that he was committing to Georgia, he's a Bellevue West quarterback. He's the top quarterback in the state of Nebraska. He's a 3-star. He's the number 3 overall recruit in the entire state of Nebraska. Decommitted from Missouri and committed to Nebraska fairly quickly. So now we have, once he signs, all right, 4 scholarship quarterbacks, and we have a quarterback who is younger than a sophomore once he signs officially on the roster. Now, it's interesting. I looked at the top 5 recruits in the state of Nebraska currently right now. Okay, number 1 is Carter Nelson. He's a tight end from Ainsworth. All right. Doesn't seem to be leaning one way or the other at the moment as far as a school. Number 2 is Davon Hall, a wide receiver from Bellevue West. Okay. He appears to be going Nebraska's way. All right. Number 4 is Isaiah McMorris, another wide receiver from Bellevue West. Seems like he's going to USC. All right. Now, it's a guy I think we need to try to get him to come join us as well. Because here's my philosophy. And I can't believe I even have to say this, but I'll say this. You got to be good at football first. Because I've said in the past, we have to prioritize in-state recruits. And then they're like, well, you're just going to offer any Nebraska high school kid? No, that'd be dumb. Okay. You got to be good at football first. It's just, I can't believe I have to say that. It's like the little warning label on the stove that says stove is hot. Like, really? Really, you have to put that there? Well, yes, they do, because people have burned themselves and then tried to sue companies. So they have to put it there. So I guess I have to put this disclaimer here. You got to be good at football first. But once you've found, if you're Coach Rule and you're his staff and you're his recruiting department and you've discovered all the good football players in the state of Nebraska, they need to be a priority. Okay. So hopefully we can get, in my opinion, we should try to get the top 5 rated recruits from the state of Nebraska each and every year to come to Nebraska. As many of the top 10 as we can, okay, that deserve to be offered. But we need to get back to the point where kids in the state of Nebraska playing for Nebraska, it's a priority and it's a dream for them to come play for the Huskers. How do we do that? Well, we win more games. Also, making it priority with the current staff. Okay. Now, when you look at Daniel Kalen, all right, 6'2", 200 pounds, he's the Huskers' 7th commit in this 2024 recruiting class, which moves the Huskers' current recruiting class, obviously, very early on, very small and growing, to 29th nationally. Now, Kalen also had offers from Arizona State, Colorado, Duke, Kansas State, Michigan State, Minnesota, North Carolina, Vanderbilt, and Virginia. He's a 24th ranked quarterback nationally. Again, his quick decommitment from Missouri and subsequent quick commitment to the University of Nebraska recently tells me he really wanted to play for the Huskers. And then you start to look up some of the things that he has said, some of his quotes, some of his comments, okay, about playing for the University of Nebraska. Here's one, and I quote. Okay, hold on. This is Daniel talking, and I quote, I envisioned myself playing in a Nebraska uniform and walking out of the tunnel Memorial Stadium since I moved to Nebraska when I was 8. End quote. Now, a little bit of background on Mr. Daniel. As a junior, he threw for 3,186 yards, 36 touchdowns. Now, he has a private quarterbacks coach, all right, Coach Danny Hernandez. Coach Hernandez says, and I quote, he's great. I'm really high on the kid. End quote. Well, you're coaching the kid. What do you think he's going to say? His parents are paying him to coach him. So what do you think he's going to say? I mean, my goodness. So I did a little bit more digging. All right. He said also, and I quote, oh, man, his ability to rip the ball. Man, he can make every single throw. I think he moves well, okay, for the size that he has, end quote. And that's Coach Hernandez. So I actually watched a little bit of film, okay, on Daniel. And I would agree with everything that Coach Hernandez says. He can rip the ball. He can throw it. And he moves well for his size, okay. Now, on Coach Matt Rule, all right, Daniel said, and I think one of the biggest things that stands out about Coach Rule is his track record at the college level of turning programs around. Right, end quote. And I believe that's something that's going to attract a lot of people to the University of Nebraska. He's done it at Temple. He has done it at Baylor when it was at its bottom, as we all know. We've heard this before. All right, now, he also said that he was the first recruit, talking about Kalen, that Coach Rule followed and reached out to when he got to Nebraska. And I thought that was awesome. I'm not going to lie, I was a little bit surprised about that. I honestly thought it would be Dylan Raiola, okay, or maybe somebody else. But I think that tells you a lot about how Rule and his staff feel about this kid and his potential and what he can do here at the University of Nebraska as a quarterback. And I see him, if you watch him on tape, okay, I see him as a guy that wants to be here, obviously. But what comes along with that type of attitude is there's going to be an attitude of, hey, maybe it's not working out in year 1, year 2, year 3. They're much more likely to stay around. They're much more likely to stick with the process. They're much more likely to be bought into the process. They're much more likely to work harder throughout the offseason, in the offseason. You know what? I apologize. I completely forgot to give our sponsors a shout out. I got so excited about getting to do the show this week. Okay. I can't forget to help pay the bills. All right. So you've driven by GE Landscape Supply countless times, likely without knowing, at 6701 Cornhusker Highway. Now it's time to stop in. GE Landscape Supply sells to homeowners and contractors with a vast selection of landscaping and construction materials. They sell in bulk to save you money. Buy anything from a 5-gallon bucket to a semi-load. And don't forget, they deliver anywhere, nearby or far away. Stop by 6701 Cornhusker Highway from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday to Friday and 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. on Saturdays. Go to gelandscapesupply.com for more info or call 402-467-1627. I will randomly, okay, I'm like my kids right now, squirrel, so easily distracted, but that's just how I roll. All right? I'm a passionate, fun guy. I'm always try to be educated on what I'm going to talk about, but I'm going to take a little bit of a random sidebar. Most of you know, okay, the Carriker Chronicles is on its own. And as I'm talking to potential sponsors, one of my priorities is being connected with good quality companies. So when you think about GE Landscape Supply, they're one of those companies. That's why we give them a shout out here on the show, ladies and gentlemen. All right, now back to the topic at hand. Daniel Kalen, okay, he's one of those kids that's going to be more bought into the process, going to stick around longer. At least that's the impression I get. People change over time. You never know. But that is what you need in this day and age, especially for a coach like Matt Rule. Obviously, he wants talented guys. Obviously, he wants big-time players. Who's going to say no to an absurdly talented player coming to your school? But as we know, his big focus is on developing players. So one of the questions I have, where Coach Rule has been out of college football for a while now, is that philosophy still possible in this day and age of college football? Is it with the transfer portal, with NIL, with kids hopping from school to school to school? All right, there was a basketball player, and his name escapes me. A couple years ago, he played for 5 different schools in 5 different years. And the crazy part is he was the leading scorer almost every year on every different school he was on. Again, his name escapes me. I apologize for that. I didn't plan on sharing that story. Just popped into my head. But is that possible? Is it possible to be a developer of players, a developer of athletes in this day and age? I believe yes. And I believe yes because Coach Rule is targeting kids just like Daniel, kids who want to be here. Okay, Coach Rule has come out and said, I'm not going to throw a bunch of money your way to try to get you here. We understand NIL exists, but the big NIL is the NFL, and I can get you there. And he has 24 players, a man who has not coached in college football for a few years. He has 24 players from his Baylor and Temple days that are currently in the NFL, programs that were not doing well when he took over. So, Coach Rule, you're going to get NIL, okay? But the big NIL is the NFL, and that's through development, that's through being coached, that's through time in the program and being willing to go through the process. I'm still curious to see how it plays out. I do believe it can work because they're targeting, from what I understand, kids just like Daniel, kids who are bought in, who want to be here, want to buy into the process, who want to show up day in and day out, and are willing to go through the ups and downs, a bit of the roller coaster ride that is a college football career. This may shock you. Not everything in college football, not every day in college football is a valley full of daisies and roses. There are days that are hard. There are days that are challenging. There are days when it's not fun. There were days when I wasn't excited to go. There were way more days that I was. excited to go. But it's not always easy, just like anything else. And I doubt if I'm shocking anybody with this, but you got to have the right people who want to go through that process, who embrace the journey, so to speak. You got to embrace that journey. All right. So I'm going to be having Mr. Faux Pelini on the show here in about 10 minutes. Okay. We're going to talk some Husker baseball. We're going to talk Husker realignment. In the meantime, do me a favor. If you've got a question, call or text. All right. This number, 402-464-5685. 402-464-5685. I love interacting with the fans. I love interacting with people. I try to answer and get to as many questions as I possibly humanly can each and every show. All right. So if you got a question, hit me up, put me on the spot, try to drill me down. Okay. So for me personally, the amount of time that was spent on recruiting Mr. Raiola was probably an appropriate amount of time. Now, is it a concern that we spent that amount of time and he didn't come here? No, it's not. When you get an individual who has the potential and the desire and the work ethic of Mr. Daniel. The fact is, he's got to actually go out and do it. He's got to put in the time and the effort, and we'll see how this unfolds over years and time to come. Okay, real quickly, I want to look at Husker baseball, and I'm probably going to come back to this a little bit later in the show, but you look at Nebraska baseball. All right, the 4th seed in the Big Ten tournament right now. This is a team that was 31-21-1. It's a .594 win percentage overall throughout the season. In conference play, they were 15-9, which is a win percentage of .625. Okay, they play 5th-seeded Rutgers on Wednesday in Omaha. And I looked through their schedule. I didn't see where they had played Rutgers earlier this year, unless I just happened to miss it somehow, which is possible. All right, Rutgers coming into this matchup on Wednesday. Their season record is 33-21, a winning percentage of .611, which is actually overall throughout the season a little bit higher than Nebraska's. But if you look at Rutgers' overall schedule, SOS strength of schedule, okay, Nebraska's to me appeared a little bit tougher. So that could be why their win-loss record isn't quite as good as Rutgers, yet they're ahead of them in the seeding in this tournament. But at the same time, Nebraska, all right, their conference record, 15-9, winning percentage of .625. When you look at Rutgers, 14-10, a winning percentage of .583. Nebraska also had the better win percentage within the conference. All right. So I'm curious. Let me know your thoughts. Will Nebraska win on Wednesday? Can they make a run? Can they get to the College World Series? All right, they've set some records when it comes to home runs and hitting the long ball this year. All right, they've been a fun team to watch. They've been frustrating to watch because they've been so up. They've been so down. I mean, are they even the best team in the state of Nebraska? I don't know. You know, you look at some of the games they played within some of the other teams within the state of Nebraska. They might not even be the best team in the state of Nebraska. Are they the 3rd best team within our own state? Yet they're the 4th seed in the Big Ten Conference. How in the world does that work? College sports is so much fun. All right. Let me know. How do you think they're going to do? All right. Again, 402-464-5685. How do you think they're going to do in this tournament? All right. We got one question already. Rob from Wyoming. Hey, Adam, on a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate Rule's recruiting so far? So when you think about Coach Rule coming in, all right, and he didn't have a whole lot of time. It was a short recruiting period for him before early National Signing Day, before is signing day in February. It doesn't even matter that much. I guess it does. Some kids are still declaring and all that good stuff. I believe that's when Malachi Coleman declared. I could be wrong on that. Feel free to correct me if I am. He didn't have a whole lot of time. What he was able to do, what he was able to grind out, really is what he did. If you pay attention on social media, what he was able to grind out, not just him, but his staff. And that's part of the reason he wanted younger coaches, not the coaches who've been around, are all of a sudden lazy. I'm not saying that at all, but there's something about being younger in the game. Just that hunger, that fire. Okay. And all of his coordinators, offensive, defensive, special team coordinators, have all been OCs, DCs, and special teams coordinators before. That was his big thing. Okay. He wanted young position coaches, but he wanted coordinators who had been coordinators before. That was his big thing. I felt like that got overlooked a little bit, myself included, until he pointed it out to me when I chatted with him, and I was like, holy crap, makes a lot of sense. Young, hungry position coaches, experienced coordinators, and then essentially Rule can just coach the coaches, so to speak. On a scale of 1 to 10 to answer your actual question. Again, Squirrel. All right. Let's stay focused. I'm having fun. Scale of 1 to 10, I assume 1 is low, 10 is high. I think you got to go, man, a solid 8. Okay. You could argue, don't hate me for this, had he landed Dylan Raiola, maybe you eke up to a 9. I'm just that guy that's never going to say 10. Unless you've got the number 1 recruiting class in the country, I'm just never going to say 10. That's just me. You can always do better. Sorry, it's just how I am. 9.4. Can't say 0.5 because then you got to round up to 10. Okay, but I'd say, how about this? Here's my official answer, 8.4. I give Matt Rule a solid 8.4. And if you wanted to try to eke him up to a 9, you could do so. Had he gotten Raiola, maybe you eke him up. And there's a couple other guys that, would have been great to get over the course of the past few months, but I think they've done a great job in the short time that they've had. All right, another question. Thomas and Lincoln. If Smothers returns, is he the number 2? All right, so you got Jeff Sims, number 1. All right, you got Purdy, you got Heinrich Harburg. And then if Smothers returns, and obviously you got Daniel, who I've been talking about. Hard to just slide a true freshman potentially in there. It'd probably be Smothers or Purdy. I got to be honest, I like Heinrich Harburg's ceiling more than anybody I've just mentioned, and then I say that with all due respect, no slight to anybody. I think Smothers' skill set, if he were to return to Nebraska, is the most similar to Jeff Sims of any other quarterback on the roster. So I think Smothers would have a very strong case, very strong possibility of earning the number 2 spot if he did return. If I had to make a way too early prediction, if Smothers were to return to the Huskers, I would say he probably would be number 2 just because his skill set is similar to Jeff Sims, more so than Purdy or Harburg, although Harburg is much faster than people realize. All right, ladies and gentlemen, don't go anywhere. We have a short break, and then I'll be joined by Mr. Faux Pelini.
Nebco is hiring CDL drivers for Ready Mix Concrete, Husker Concrete, and Beatrice Concrete. Nebco offers great pay, medical, and retirement benefits, paid time off, and we pay for CDL training. Apply today to earn an average total compensation of $50,000 to $60,000 your first year driving. From Nebco's beginnings in 1908, it's the employees that have formed the company's solid foundation. Start your career today. Visit nebcoinc.com. That's NEBCOINC.com.
Summer is near. Now's the time to clean or replace your furnace filter to get the most out of your AC. Find energy-saving tips at les.com/save-energy.
If you're interested in installing solar panels in Nebraska, there's a name you need to know. Solar by Alpine Electric is based out of Lincoln, and you can be sure your project will be handled with care and detail because Rick, the owner of Solar by Alpine Electric, will be involved in the entire process from start to finish. We're an REC Solar Certified Pro installer and handle jobs in Lincoln and the surrounding area. Let us show you real-time results in your area. Call Rick today at 402-440-4371. Solar by Alpine Electric.
There's nothing quite like the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese Beef. The Mercado offers unique ingredients you can't find anywhere else, open every day from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. The full-service butcher shop and retail store is wonderful for meat lovers with their exclusive certified Piedmontese beef and assorted sausages, plus other quality meats, including pork, chicken, and a wide range of the freshest seafood. Plus, every Friday from 11 to 2, the Mercado serves up the best lunch in town on their Friday Feast menu. Stop in at the Mercado today at 84th and Havelock or visit their website at cpmercado.com to see current deals.
NASCAR is known for fast cars, roaring action, and big bucks. The Nebraska Lottery's NASCAR Powerball Playoff promotion features all three, especially the bucks. Until May 30th, buy a Powerball ticket with Power Play or Double Play, enter the voucher number, and you could be one of 15 winners of $1,000 and the chance to win a VIP trip to the NASCAR Cup Series Championship Weekend. Enter today. Powerball top prize odds 1 in 292 million.
Getting experience to jumpstart a meaningful career can be difficult, and education can cost a fortune. Luckily, AmeriCorps can be the solution. With AmeriCorps, you'll earn a stipend and education award while helping people. Plus, you'll gain professional skills and make connections to help you build your career. If you're ready to start a career you can be proud of, visit serve.nebraska.gov/service to find a program for you. Paid for by Serve Nebraska, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Too many people believe that chronic pain, allergies, or illness are permanent and something you're stuck with. Novotny Nutrition and Wellness has been proving that narrative wrong for 29 years and changing lives for the better in the process. Their team is trained in the newest, most advanced pain-relieving techniques and ways to deal with toxins, allergies, pollution, and emotion that make you ill. Call today for a free consultation at 531-254-5695 or go to novotnynutritionandwellness.com. Novotny Nutrition and Wellness, located at 7th and Superior.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Partly to mostly sunny skies here for our Monday. It will be a warm day with a high of around 82, south winds at 10 to 15. Mainly clear tonight, low dropping down to around 55. We'll see those temps bump up just a touch for our Tuesday. Again, partly to mostly sunny skies with a high of 84. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Integrated Life Choices has been inspiring opportunities for individuals with disabilities for more than 15 years in Lincoln and across Nebraska by offering a number of services. From group homes to independent living resources and job training, you'll find the support that allows people to live fulfilling lives. They're also hiring. If you're looking for a rewarding career supporting people with developmental disabilities, you can check out open positions along with learning more about services at ilc.net. Integrated Life Choices.
Allo is turning 20 this year, and we plan to celebrate all year long. Since 2003, Allo has vowed to put customers first and deliver a drastically different experience. No matter where you live, work, or play, we believe you deserve an affordable, secure, and reliable connection. We're proud to have served our businesses and residents with seriously fast fiber optic service for 2 decades. Thank you for trusting Allo as your local internet, phone, and TV provider. Follow us on social media to know about the 20th anniversary celebrations in all our Allo communities.
Springtime is here, and it's time to get to work on outdoor projects. Deck City is a great place to start as Lincoln's local source for everything decks. Deck City has everything you need to build the deck of your dreams. From treated lumber to Westbury aluminum railings and TimberTech composite decking. Call them today to schedule an appointment at 402-480-6671. Go online at deckcityne.com or visit their new location just north of 33rd and Cornhusker Highway.
Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits is now open in Lincoln. Shop our expansive collection of wine, beer, spirits, and cigars at 5040 North 27th Street. From top shelf liquor to crowd favorite beer, Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits has a beverage for every taste and every budget. Plus, join our loyalty program to earn rewards and save on future purchases. Shop Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits at 5040 North 27th Street in Lincoln. That's 5040 North 27th Street.
You're listening to Adam Carriker on The Ticket on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are joined by the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Faux Pelini. How you doing, my friend?
Hey, Adam, how's it going? That's quite an introduction. Appreciate that.
Dude, I appreciate you joining me. So I promised the fans I was going to grill you. Like, this is going to be a heated session. Can you handle it?
Oh, man, bring it on.
All right.
Let's do it. Monday afternoon.
I like it. My first question, how is the cat doing?
The cat is good. The cat, it's speaking of myths and legends, the cat is the cat's there. I actually have, I don't know if I should say too much about this, but I actually have, my family has cats in real life. So there's actually real life, cat in the Faux Pelini, life. And they're doing well. The cat's doing well. What can I say?
All right. So full disclosure, the Carrikers will never have a cat in our house. We are dog people. We are not cat people. Sorry. And we are not snake people. My son's favorite animal is a rattlesnake.
I'd be more like you on that front, but I get regularly outvoted in my house.
My son's favorite animal is a rattlesnake, and he keeps asking for a snake in the house, and I'm like, no. And if you get one in your house one day, I will not come visit you. I will stay in a hotel and see the grandkids that way whenever that time comes. All right, next question. All right, what is Faux Pelini doing now? What are you currently doing at the moment?
Like doing in life creatively, or what am I doing standing in this room as I'm talking to you right now?
All right, let me expound on that just a smidge. When people follow you on Twitter, okay, what are you tweeting about at the moment? Like, what can people expect to see from you on Twitter?
Well, people probably notice I've been tweeting less probably lately the last couple of years, and especially the last 6 months. I mean, I'm still there, still try to throw up, smart aleck things whenever I can, but what I try to do is stay, whatever the latest sporting event, current event is that people seem to be paying attention to, that I'm paying attention to. I'll try to think up some, goofy tweet to throw up there about. Obviously, the main part of the focus is always Nebraska football season in general, Nebraska football season in particular. So that's when things really kind of heat up. But anything and everything lately, a lot of the stuff I've been put up, like a lot of people on Twitter, is actually about Twitter or about Elon Musk. He seems to be giving us a lot of content as people try to figure out what Twitter is be and if it's going to survive and what it's going to look like and all that stuff. So, tweeting about Twitter is weird, but that's part of what I've been paying attention to, I guess you'd say, lately.
Have you ever gotten in trouble for what you've tweeted about Twitter on Twitter? Has that ever been an issue for you?
It's a good question because I don't think anybody really knows. Most of the time, you don't really know if you're being punished by Twitter for tweeting about Twitter. I know that there are some tweets that I put out about Elon Musk specifically, which he's just fun to tweet about because he's got, again, great content creator. No matter how you feel about him, he seems to want the spotlight and where we all give it to him. But I've actually tweeted some stuff about him or to him, just replying to him and stuff that definitely get fewer views than you would expect or compared to other tweets I send. So there's definitely something going on. I know he's not being honest about what he's, who he squelches and how he squelches them. So that's kind of funny. It's kind of a funny mystery, but really interesting. When you say something bad about Twitter or when you say something bad about Elon Musk, mysteriously it kind of gets tucked away behind some invisible wall, so not as many people see it. So if people aren't seeing my tweets about Twitter, that's probably why.
All right. So getting back to Pelini, the cat, things that matter the most on planet Earth. All right. How did Faux Pelini get started? Did you just start an account, start tweeting funny things, and it took off? What was the inspiration behind the Faux Pelini account way back in the day, for those who don't know?
Way back in the day, yeah. So it really just kind of came about when, this is going way back. I mean, I'm telling you, I think it was 2010 when Bo was kind of like at the peak of his most bonus of being
bonus.
Crazy,
I like it.
The caricature of who we are or who we think as being. Remember that I think it was the A&M game where he screamed at Taylor Martinez and like Taylor Martinez went to the locker room and called his dad and all that weird stuff out. And Carl was, getting into it at the 50-yard line after games. And it was really peak Bo. And I just started to get to know Twitter at that time and decided, I can't even remember why I did it. I think I was bored late one night and just got the fake Faux Pelini Twitter handle and just started tweeting. I guess I was looking for some sort of creative outlet because I started, tweeting as Faux Pelini. I quickly got to know the rules of Twitter around impersonating people versus being a parody account because I I think my Twitter handle originally was just Coach Faux Pelini, which is not cool on any stretch, where I was kind of pretending to be him. I wasn't really thinking it through, and Twitter quickly slapped me down for that, and made me change it, and that's where the Faux Pelini handle came around. But just to make clear that this is not Bo Pelini. I thought it was funny that they thought that people might think it was actually him, these crazy tweets. So I had to change that. But so it just started then, and I just started kind of tweeting during football games and just other random weird thoughts that came in my head since then, and sort of took off and, took on a life of its own for reasons I'm grateful for it, but I don't totally understand it, to be honest with you. It's kind of funny how it all worked out.
I don't know why. It's funny how we remember some things and then we don't remember other things in our lives. I still remember the night. There was some sort of major sporting event going on TV, but once Nebraska fans saw what was happening on Twitter, nobody cared. I remember the night Bo Pelini took to Twitter. I was upstairs in my bedroom. I just had surgery not too long before, got this whole contraption on my knee. Okay. And I see Bo Pelini tweet to you something about it's time to give the cat back. I still remember that night, plain as day, as I sit here and describe it. And all of a sudden, I didn't care about what was on TV. All I cared about, whoa. So I got to ask, did you ever, in fact, give the cat back to Bo, or did he get to borrow the cat?
I told him he could have it back, I think, that night. I remember that night very clearly also, as you might guess. It was actually the national championship game. I can't remember which one it was.
Is that what it was? It was some major event. I can't remember what it was.
It was, it might have been Notre Dame was playing at Alabama. I can't remember, whatever it was.
Oh, that's not a major event, but go ahead.
That was that was crazy. That was crazy. That was truly crazy. And I didn't expect it either. And a lot of people just, Twitter blew up and my DMs blew up and my mentions blew up. And I think I was on my iPad. I think it crashed my iPad or crashed the app in the iPad or whatever. But I think I told them that was one of those things where I thought, oh my God, I got to come up with something great as a comeback. Everybody's going to be watching. People are,
no pressure.
Tweeted at Faux Pelini. I got to come up with the greatest tweet of all time. I don't even remember what it was, other than, to answer your question, I think I told them he could have it back or something like that. But I remember being very disappointed. I felt like I whiffed. It was too much pressure. It was too quick. I didn't come up with a great reply. But that was definitely a memorable, crazy night. Definitely a top 3 on Twitter. That's for sure.
All right, I got to ask this, and I think I already know the answer, but I'm going to ask anyways. Is there any sort of chance you would ever consider becoming faux Matt Rule?
I guess there's always a chance, but I really don't think so. I messed around with a Mike Riley one actually I had a Scott Frost one. What am I saying? I guess there's a chance because I messed around with those for a little bit, the other ones, but never really got into it. It's, I think I doubt it. I think someone else can take that and run with it. Because it takes a lot of, not to make it sound like it's something bigger than it is or more complicated than it is. I mean, it's just Twitter, but it takes some time to really kind of think about how you're going to do it and come up with, make sure it matches the voice of what a pretend character is, or like an amplified version of whatever the guy is that you're pretending to be.
Yeah,
and I don't know I definitely know what the amplified version of Bo Pelini is, which is, a crazy maniac who screams at mailmen. I don't know what the amplified version of Matt Rule is. Maybe just a super nice, chatty, talkative, nervous guy or something. And the amplified version of Scott Frost, I don't even know what the regular version of Scott Frost is, much less the amplified one. And so I don't know. Someone else can figure that out. I don't think it's going to be me.
I get it. I totally get it, dude. All right, we got a question from Guilt Nerd. All right, Mr. Faux. I'm going to call you Mr. Faux from now on. I like that. How proud were you when Bo brought the cat to the spring game?
I think that's another one where I don't know if pride is the right word. I guess it was cool. It was definitely cool, I think it's kind of like when he tweeted me during that game. It was more shock and awe. And I will say that seeing that every time I see the picture, it's still, even though it was almost 10 years ago, I still can't believe it. It was, I guess it's pride, probably 10% pride, 80% shock. And then the other 10% thinking like, oh my God, I'm on this guy's radar screen. I hope he doesn't try to have me murdered or something like that. But that was fun. That was a weird one, but a good time.
So I assume I'm just going to ask, did you ever get the chance to meet Bo, Carl, chat with them, text with them, anything in any way, shape, or form outside of the realm of Twitter?
No, I've not met him. I guess I'd like to meet Bo, although I don't know what that meeting would be like, but I guess I would. And Carl, definitely not. I think I'm not ever going to be on Carl's Christmas card list. I've been obnoxious to him over the years. I've kind of dialed that back a little bit, but even though people seem to enjoy the crazy Carl rantings. But I will say this, and this is why I know that I won't be Carl's buddy anytime soon, but he got on Twitter, this was a few years ago, but he got on Twitter, just got a new Twitter account a few years ago, whenever it was. And, I had tweeted Carl craziness, over the years. And he got on Twitter, and everybody alerted me really quickly, like, oh my God, Carl Pelini's on Twitter. You got to follow him and interact with him or whatever. So he'd been on probably an hour, maybe less than an hour, when people were letting me know that. So I quickly went to his profile to see if it was really him and everything. It turns out, yes, not only was it him, but he had already blocked me within a half hour putting up the account. So I don't think we're going to be best friends.
All right. You guys won't be exchanging Christmas cards, I guess. I will say this. So Bo was the D coordinator my redshirt freshman year. Carl helped coach the defensive line. Obviously, Bo's a fiery guy. I think Carl is just as fiery, just in a not as demonstrative type way. The other thing I kind of noticed over the years, and I don't mean this as a negative thing or a positive thing, just an observation. Maybe I'm wrong. Carl seems just a little bit more sensitive maybe than Bo, whereas Bo will get mad, but he might not block you on Twitter. He might just unfollow you, whereas Carl might get mad. He's going to go straight to blocking you right away. So I don't know. Take that for whatever it is. Last question I got for you, and I'm going to leave this up to your discretion because I'm just looking for a peek behind the curtain of the man behind Faux Pelini. But obviously, you share whatever you want to share and whatever you're comfortable with. So my questions are this. Are you a Nebraska fan? Are you from Nebraska? If you're cool, do you still currently live in Nebraska? If you're cool with answering that, and what do you do for a living? Again, 3-part question. You can answer all 3 or 0, whatever you're cool with.
Yeah, I'll give you some some of this is out there and other interviews that have really been out there. But huge Nebraska fan. I grew up in Omaha. I'm a huge Nebraska fan, and still a huge Nebraska fan. Will always be a big Nebraska fan. That's kind of what this was born out of, and that's what my tweeting during games kind of became. Those were actually probably my crazy ranting feelings and thoughts. What happened during games when I'm, experiencing the games, whether it's good or bad, mostly bad lately. But when you see those tweets in the games, that's not made up. That's me probably.
Yeah.
But I grew up in Omaha, huge Nebraska fan. I live in the Chicago area now. And, so there's a pretty good Nebraska contingent here that it's good to, we'll try to go to a bar and get to games. I go to the Northwestern games whenever they're in town, so that's fun too. But it's the Nebraska fan part of the Twitter account and the tweets is definitely authentic. That's part of the deal, and probably always will be.
Well, I appreciate you taking the time. As always, I'll continue to follow you on Twitter. All right. I know you're thinking about them tweets before you send it out. I always enjoy them, so I appreciate it. Thank you for your time, my friend.
You got it, Adam. Take care.
All right. We'll be right back. Husker fans, real quick. Shout out to GE Landscape Supply. All right. Check them out at gelandscapesupply.com. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
It's May, and that means the school year's almost over and summer road trips are on the horizon. Stop telling yourself you'll upgrade your car someday and do it now. Mullen Motors lot is full of great vehicles to take home so you don't have to worry about your current car barely surviving another road trip. Come check out their lot just north of 48th and Layton and find your next ride. Summer road trips are just around the corner. Mullen Motors.
No taglines, just quality vehicles. Mullen Motors.
Tailored Life is now open in Bennett. Make the short drive down Highway 2 for tons of items for your home, for both indoors and outdoors. Check out their variety of potted trees, shrubs, vines, perennials, and colorful annuals. Plus, porch pots and landscape lighting to enhance the outside of your home. Don't forget their home goods for indoors, plus convenient drinks and snacks, most which are produced locally. Visit Tailored Life today in Bennett and stay tuned to their Facebook page at Tailored Life 360 for food truck events coming up.
The best way to learn about Southeast Community College is to visit, and you can check out our spaces before you visit in person with a virtual campus tour, an opportunity to see our campuses in Beatrice, Lincoln, and Milford as you learn about our programs and areas of study. There are virtual tours of our learning centers too. We can even take you on a personalized virtual tour. Learn more on our website, southeast.edu/visit-SCC. SCC, your path to possible.
Sunday morning. It's quiet, not in a weird, too quiet way. Calm, peaceful, tranquil. You pour yourself that cup of coffee. You slice yourself a hearty chunk of one of Beatrice Bakery's breakfast breads. Now, maybe you're an apple streusel guy. Nothing wrong with that. I can respect that. Personally, I'm a turtle nut man. Something about those pecans. But the real ones know, don't sleep on that date nut bread. Sweet, but not too sweet. Nutty, not overly. The perfect morning treat. Beatrice Bakery. Online at beatricebakery.com. Welcome to our world of yum.
You've been cooped up inside for too long. School is wrapping up and it's time for a road trip, but the family carriage needs some new tires. We're here to help. The Memorial Day tire sale is happening right now at Graham Tire Company. Goodyear tires, Hankook tires, Nokian tires, Kumho tires, all tires on sale through May 26th. Big savings, instant rebates, mail-in rebates. It's all happening right now at Graham Tire Company. Hurry, GrahamTireLincoln.com, getting you to the places that matter most.
Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits is now open in Lincoln. Shop our expansive collection of wine, beers, spirits, and cigars at 5040 North 27th Street. From top-shelf liquor to crowd-favorite beer, Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits has a beverage for every taste and every budget. Plus, join our loyalty program to earn rewards and save on future purchases. Shop Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits at 5040 North 27th Street in Lincoln. That's 5040 North 27th Street.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Coppell Chevrolet GMC, and we are celebrating a record sales month in April, and we're going to let it roll and crank up in the month of May. We have some big discounts and special interest rates going on this month on selected new in-stock Sierras and Silverados. Buy a new Silverado or Sierra, get $3,000 off or 1.9% interest. You heard right, $3,000 off or 1.9% interest. We have outstanding specials on all of our new and pre-owned GM certified units. So stop on in and see us or check us out online at coppellcars.com. You'll be glad you did. New discount must trade in and finance with the roof credit.
There's nothing quite like the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese beef. The Mercado offers unique ingredients you can't find anywhere else, open every day from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. The full-service butcher shop and retail store is wonderful for meat lovers with their exclusive certified Piedmontese beef and assorted sausages, plus other quality meats, including pork, chicken, and a wide range of the freshest seafood. Plus, every Friday from 11 to 2, the Mercado serves up the best lunch in town on their Friday Feast menu. Stop in at the Mercado today at 84th and Havelock or visit their website at cpmercado.com to see current deals.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
Integrated Life Choices has been inspiring opportunities for individuals with disabilities for more than 15 years in Lincoln and across Nebraska by offering a number of services. From group homes to independent living resources and job training, you'll find the support that allows people to live fulfilling lives. They're also hiring. If you're looking for a rewarding career supporting people with developmental disabilities, you can check out open positions along with learning more about services at ilc.net. Integrated Life Choices.
If you're in Lincoln, Waverly, or the surrounding area, listen up. Select Plumbing gets it right the first time on a variety of issues for your home and business, including general plumbing, water heaters, faucet and fixture repair, underground sewer and water repairs, backflow testing, and more. Keep your property free from leaks and other issues. Call today for a free estimate at 402-560-6197. Plus, they're hiring service plumbers. If you're in Lincoln, Waverly, or the surrounding area, contact Select Plumbing to inquire at 402-560-6197.
Hey, moms and dads, bring the whole crew to a Salt Dogs baseball game and unleash the fun. Visit Haymarket Park all summer for fireworks Fridays, souvenir Saturdays, Sunday family fun days, and more. With 50 home games, even weekdays can be unforgettable. Planning an event? Make it a home run with group discounts. When you need an outing the whole family will enjoy, unleash the fun with the Salt Dogs. Call 402-474-2255 or visit saltdogs.com for tickets.
Getting experience to jumpstart a meaningful career can be difficult, and education can cost a fortune. Luckily, AmeriCorps can be the solution. With AmeriCorps, you'll earn a stipend and education award while helping people. Plus, you'll gain professional skills and make connections to help you build your career. If you're ready to start a career you can be proud of, visit serve.nebraska.gov/service to find a program for you. Paid for by Serve Nebraska, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
You're listening to Adam Carriker on The Ticket on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Do or do not. There is no try. The great Yoda. All right, welcome back to Adam Carriker on The Ticket. Each and every Monday going forward, unless high school sports bumps me as it should. Join me for lunch each and every Monday from noon to 1 p.m., the fastest hour in radio each and every week here on The Ticket. One final shout out to GE Landscape Supply. Check them out at gelandscapesupply.com. For more info, call 402-467-1627. All right, I did forget, one quote that I wanted to mention earlier, from Daniel Kalin. And this goes to the impact that Husker fans have. It goes to the impact that social media has, that Husker fans can have through social media. We just had Faux Pelini on. Okay, this is a guy who grew up a diehard Husker fan. He's a lawyer from Chicago. And wow, what happened with that account was awesome, largely in part and due to Husker fans, Husker Nation, and the impact that they can have. So here's one final quote, that I wanted to read from Daniel Kalin. He said, I think growing up in Nebraska, you can't escape Husker football. The fan base is incredible, and they always show support, whether that's winning games or losing games. I think Husker football is unlike any other program. End quote. I forgot to share that quote earlier, and I wanted to put that out there because Husker fans have a gigantic impact on this program, unlike ever before, especially through social media, especially with the ability to connect to current players, former players, potential future players. So just keep that in mind anytime you're interacting with individuals on social media. Now, I mentioned I would come back to Husker baseball at the end of the show. It is that time to put a button on the topic of Husker baseball and then go out and watch and support this team on a Wednesday later this week in Omaha versus Rutgers, that team from Piscataway. Still fun to say, Wisconsin. All right, now the question is, how far can this team go? What can they do? Can they get back to the College World Series under Will Bolt? Can they get to a super regional? How far can they go? I know the last time Nebraska made it to the CWS, the College World Series, was 2005 under Mike Anderson, probably the most successful season Nebraska baseball has ever had. Now, they did some cool things so far this year, right? Until this year, the most amount of home runs a Nebraska baseball team had ever hit was in 1985 when they hit 93 in 69 games. Okay, this year, 2023, they hit a team record 95 home runs. All right, Max Anderson set a record, 15 home runs, a Big Ten play. Again, that's a record. All right, when you think about comparing this to a season ago with Husker baseball, last year the Huskers had 51 home runs, comparatively speaking. All right, and actually nobody on the team hit better than with no batter hitting more than 10 home runs a year ago. Okay, so think about that differential. And nobody, hitting a batting average of over 300 with the exception of one player, and that was Garrett Anglem. When you only have one player hitting that well on a team, it's not great. So the improvement, especially at the plate from last year to this year, has been gargantuan. Okay, it's been really, really good. How far can their pitching take them? How far can their defense take them? How far can they go in the tournament in this postseason? That's what I'm going to be keeping my eye on. Now, I want to chat a little bit about the ACC and their magnificent 7. Now, the conference currently has, a grant of rights deal with the conference, over the teams within the conference for the next 13 years. There's a magnificent 7 schools who are trying to do something different on their own, seeing what's out there, seeing what they can do, what they can't do. Okay? Clemson, Florida State, North Carolina State, Miami, North Carolina, Virginia Tech are those 7 schools. I mentioned earlier in the show, in this program, that does not include Duke, does not include Louisville. So my first thought was, all right, if I was to interchange a school, how do you not include Duke? And I know they weren't very good at basketball last year, but just overall. Okay. And I understand in football, they're not phenomenally phenomenal. I get that. I'd be tempted to exchange Duke for NC State. NC State's a solid football program, but only one of those 2 schools has a program within the basketball football department that's a national power way more often than not, and that's Duke basketball. Okay. When I looked at Louisville, a program that typically does pretty well, they're up and down in football a little bit. Basketball's a little bit better, more consistent, I would say. It's like, well, who would I possibly take out for Louisville? My other thought was, why not just add Louisville and make it magnificent 8? Is that not a catchy? I don't know. All right. So the question is, what can these teams do? Where do they go? Where can they potentially go? All right. Well, the obvious answer is SEC, Big Ten, and even the Big 12, potentially. The Big 12 is just, they're in a better spot than the Pac-12 is at this point, soon to be the Pac-10 all over again. Okay, without USC, UCLA coming to join the mighty Big Ten, which is now a national conference once they join East Coast to West Coast. That's pretty cool. Where do they go? All right. Who knows what's going to happen with this? Conference realignment in itself is almost a full show day after day. It's fun to watch in of itself. I envision one day, and I don't say envision as in I'm rooting for it. I say envision as in I think that's what's going to happen. It's going to be 2 major conferences. I don't know how far down the road. Probably a ways, because a lot of other conferences would have to go by the wayside. But the Big Ten and the SEC, I think that's ultimately what's going to happen. The SEC, okay, they think they're pretty good at football. There's an argument to be made there. I get it. The Big Ten, as I just mentioned, is coast to coast. And as a result, they're bringing in the money, especially once, even right now with what they're doing, but especially once they bring in USC, UCLA, them LA boys. Okay. And it's essentially down the road, I think, in a few years, however long that takes, the Big Ten, the SEC. And if these 7 schools, this magnificent 7, goes to one of those conferences, and I know it's an incredibly large amount of teams, but when you think about 2 major conferences down the road, maybe I'm wrong, who knows? I just think it's what's going to happen 5-10 years. There could be a 20-plus team conference. Okay, and then they'd have to figure out how to work that, and I'm sure they can. It's not rocket science. Nobody's going to the moon here with this. Okay. But then the question is, and they could go to the Big 12. The Big 12s, they're doing a lot better than people thought they would be 2 years ago at this point. Okay. Maybe they can add some of these schools to their conference, and all of a sudden they become a lot more imposing potentially, especially if Florida State, Miami, if they were to join and they start getting good at football all over again somehow. Then the question is, what do the remaining 7 schools do? What do we call them? Non-magnificent 7? Maybe they go to the Big 12. Okay, I don't know. I don't see them going to the Pac-10. Most of these are East Coast schools. They'd have to be in a West Coast conference. And I understand that I just said the Big 10 is East Coast to West Coast, but we're talking about a couple of schools on the West Coast as opposed to like an entire conference versus 7 teams coming from the East Coast. That would just be really difficult from figuring out like a plane rides and just figuring out a schedule standpoint, especially for like the Olympic type sports. A lot of those are during the week, throughout the week. It's challenging as it is without having to potentially go from coast to coast all the time. So this is something I'm going to keep my eye on. It's very intriguing to me. I've kind of been, you don't hear a lot about the ACC. It's all about what's the Big Ten doing? What's the SEC doing? Who are they gaining? Because they don't lose anybody. Okay, who's the Pac-12 losing now? How's the Big 12 doing? Are they going to hang on? Who can they add? Who can they prevent from leaving, a la Texas, Oklahoma? So this is something that's intriguing to me because we have not heard much about the ACC. They're just kind of hanging there. Just kind of hanging out. This is the first thing we've heard as far as potential movement in the ACC conference, and a lot of that had to do with the grant of rights deal. And a lot of these teams probably feeling locked in, like, what can we do? well, those 7 teams, those magnificent 7 teams, you're going to make it a lot more interesting. All right. Thank you for joining me. I will see you fine folks next Monday, noon to 1. Have lunch with me, the fastest hour in radio each and every week here on Adam Carriker on the Ticket. Until then, go big red, and always remember, go the Birds.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. The home of Kansas City Royals baseball. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Is known for fast cars, roaring action, and big bucks. The Nebraska Lottery's NASCAR Powerball Playoff promotion features all 3, especially the bucks. Until May 30th, buy a Powerball ticket with Power Play or Double Play, enter the voucher number, and you could be one of 15 winners of $1,000 and the chance to win a VIP trip to the NASCAR Cup Series Championship Weekend. Enter today. Powerball top prize odds 1 in 292 million.
This is Brad with Midwest Bank, proudly serving our Nebraska communities for over 70 years. We're a community bank, making local decisions, supporting local organizations, and helping local businesses and farms succeed. We are dedicated to serving our clients and helping them meet their financial needs with sound, innovative banking solutions. From an array of checking and deposit accounts, cash management services, to small business, real estate, and ag lending. We're here for you. Your community, your bank, Midwest Bank. Find out more at MidwestBank.com. Member FDIC.
If you're interested in installing solar panels in Nebraska, there's a name you need to know. Solar by Alpine Electric is based out of Lincoln, and you can be sure your project will be handled with care and detail because Rick, the owner of Solar by Alpine Electric, will be involved in the entire process from start to finish. We're an REC Solar Certified Pro installer and handle jobs in Lincoln and the surrounding area. Let us show you real-time results in your area. Call Rick today at 402-440-4371. Solar by Alpine Electric.
There's nothing quite like the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese beef. The Mercado offers unique ingredients you can't find anywhere else, open every day from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. The full-service butcher shop and retail store is wonderful for meat lovers with their exclusive certified Piedmontese beef and assorted sausages, plus other quality meats, including pork, chicken, and a wide range of the freshest seafood. Plus, every Friday from 11 to 2, the Mercado serves up the best lunch in town on their Friday Feast menu. Stop in at the Mercado today at 84th and Havelock or visit their website at cpmercado.com to see current deals.
Springtime is here, and it's time to get to work on outdoor projects. Deck City is a great place to start as Lincoln's local source for everything decks. Deck City has everything you need to build the deck of your dreams, from treated lumber to Westbury aluminum railings and TimberTech composite decking. Call them today to schedule an appointment at 402-480-6671. Go online at deckcityne.com or visit their new location just north of 33rd and Cornhusker Highway.
Dana Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Dana Trucking guarantees a 40-hour work week year-round, and their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Dana Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Dana Trucking. Learn more and apply today at danatrucking.com.
Need service on your home air conditioner? Call the company Lincoln has counted on since 1952, Bryant Air Conditioning and Heating. No matter what brand you have, when you need service, you want Bryant's experienced pros working for you. Friendly, NATE certified technicians with the tools, training, and technology